What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with another video. Uh, so, I was encouraged to go live and talk about what we just talked about, and that's the top 10 video. So, come on in, let's chat. I'm going to just cue that up real quick here. Local video, and just talk about this for a minute. Because, you guys always want me to go live, and I always have some excuse not to go live. But you know what? There's an ice storm out there. What up? What up? What up, Finn? Finchiro. What's happening? So did you get a chance to watch the video? You see my Tempest is working again. I don't know why it's so washed out. That panel feels kind of loose there. Hadn't played that in a long time due to the control panel going out. Getting pounded with snow over there in Wisconsin. Yeah, what's going on, Mr. Fourth Place? Man. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Been trying to get my videos down to a short range. What's this guy? What's this? What up, YouTube? There we go. It's your boy Detroit Love with another video. Do you remember the good old days? Mute that. The only way, and we're gonna just we're gonna mute it and then swap. Can we split it? Hey, I got a twin. Boy, my mom never told me I had a twin. Come on, mama. You're getting pounded with some snow over there in Wisconsin. Goodness gracious. All right, so we're going to just let this go for a minute. Fuck, man. Come on now. That good thing they changed that name, right? Let's talk about Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong has to be definitely one of my favorites. I can jump on here and play some Donkey Kong any day. Centipede. Oh yeah, I love Centipede. I was never really good at Centipede. I think I was better at Centipede than Millipede. Millipede was just, they were throwing everything at me. But Centipede was one of those games that everybody just always crowded around, and clearly the girls or the ladies, they were girls then, definitely liked Centipede for whatever reason, and they would all be around playing Centipede. So naturally, Detroit Love had to be near Centipede, but yeah, Centipede. I actually had added a trackball to my modded vertical just to be able to play Centipede. And for some reason, I lost my image because I didn't do a backup. I thought I had a backup. I had a million copies of my Street Fighter backed up. For some reason, I didn't have my vertical backed up. And so when I restored it or rebuilt it, I haven't gotten Centipede working just yet. But the trackball I put where the the Generation 1 cabinets had that speaker over to the right, up against the glass. And so I put the trackball there, which it fits there perfectly. I just didn't want to, fiddle around with the control panel too much. So it's perfect for Centipede and things like that, where you're going left and right, but it's not a great spot for anything that's going forward, like a bowling game or something. But all I put it in there for was for the Centipede and Millipede. So yeah, Centipede is definitely a great cabinet. What up, Gallagher Guy 88? I'm doing good, man. Did you get a chance to watch the video? Did your favorite? I'm assuming Gallagher is your favorite since that's your name. Gallagher 88. Now, was that strictly a console game? It wasn't a game that I was familiar with until I think Nintendo or Nintendo 64. One of those things had a Galaga 88, and I played that. It was just so different from the traditional one that I've never really played it a whole lot. I guess I'm just stuck in my old ways. but I know I've seen it on a few different things. It may be on my modded arcade cabinet. I can't remember, but it's not a game I play often. Galaga 88. Uh, so so game number one was Donkey Kong. Now there's obviously a lot of games that could have been put on this list. We talked about some during the live broadcast. Joust is definitely a game that you got to cut off somewhere. And I must admit, Pac-Mania for number 10, you know, uh, really should be Pac-Man. What's going on, Chris? But I already had Miss Pac-Man. Once, I love Pac-Man, but then once Miss Pac-Man came out, then it was like, Pac-Man's too slow, right? Uh, so I preferred Miss Pac-Man over Pac-Man over time, but you can't. You got to have Pac-Man. What up, Star? What up, Stardust? Uh, yeah. So yeah, definitely Joust. That pterodactyl, is that what it was? Pterodactyl. What kind of bird is that? When that thing would screech and start coming at you all fast, that thing used to terrify me on Joust as a kid. Uh, and I could get it most of the time, but it was designed to take you out. It's like, hey, you're playing too long. Let's throw this bird out here and kill you. Again, these games were designed to take your money, and so that was clearly a thing to just make you a little more uncomfortable. Um, what about Defender or Stargate? Is that one of your favorites? Should that have been on the list? I just never. There's too many buttons, and you got to go this way and that way. The only multiple button game, as far as moving around, I can deal with is Asteroids Deluxe, and even that sometimes like, what button do I hit? Um, no, Chris, he was riding on the ostrich, but they would bring out this uh, prehistoric bird um, that would come out real fast and try to kill you on your ostrich or knock you off your ostrich. Um, good evening. What up, Multi K Matt? Let's see here. I'm trying to show your comment here, but it's going crazy. Um, Good evening, Carl. Just got through watching your top 10. Nicely done, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. I've been working on making shorter videos because I know you guys are all busy and leave the longer videos for if we want to chat. That way we can hang out. What up, Mad Dads Gaming? Why don't you jump on, Mad Dads? You want to come on? If you want, let me know. I'll send you a link. Um, but yeah, I've just been trying to make shorter videos because whenever I get going, it seems like they just go for half an hour to an hour max. So I've been trying to cut them down, trying to be conscious of it. So I've been working on these smaller videos. Um, but to be all honest, it seems like the views have gone down since I've changed that model. So I don't know. You never know what to do. Just keep trying. Just keep coming back. Okay, you're working. I got you. I got you. We're gonna have to do a video one time, man. We both old school with these games, and you're a bigger fighter than I am. Uh, a bigger fan of the fighting games, but I do like the fighting games. I just suck at them. Um, oh, okay. You guys got the show tonight. Yeah, I might jump in. I might tell your boy to send me a link. If you're not gonna be on there, then I'll definitely be on there. That way, he's got more people. Um, that's in about an hour and 2 hours and a half. Uh, but yeah, I didn't have to go outside today. I worked from home today. We have all this ice everywhere. I'm glad I didn't have to go anywhere today. So that's PlayStation. What's that? PSVR 2, Gran Turismo, PlayStation. Explain what that is, Stardust. Yeah, I appreciate you. Um, Yeah, you know, I just love talking about this stuff. So, but Donkey Kong now, now fans of Donkey Kong, let me know with ones in the chat. Ones in the chat if you like Donkey Kong, if you like enjoy playing it, so I can see who likes Donkey Kong. So put a one in the chat for Donkey Kong. What up, Jasmine? All right, Detroit love, baby, love it. Um, but I'm just curious with Donkey Kong. So Jasmine, you like Donkey Kong? Now, do you try to get those uh, extra points off of, say, like the initial falling barrel? Uh, do you go up to the gorillas or to Donkey Kong's feet and jump and try and get extra points um, on like the first board or the second board? Do you try to get those extra points, or you just try to stay alive through the game? I'm just curious. Um, Yeah, I noticed in some of the emulation, they won't give you that extra point on that first barrel for some reason. The one that drops straight down on the real game, it does. It'll give me the extra point if I get close and jump past the barrel that gets tossed to the right. Um, and with the jumping at the gorilla's foot, sometimes I wonder, does it make sense to do that or just to get the points that's available in the bonus? Um, I never took time. I guess I could look back at a video and look at it, but I just never took the time. But I've always been curious. Does it make more sense to get those points? I guess it only makes sense if you can consistently jump and hit the button versus if you're skipping some. But Donkey Kong definitely an all-time favorite. But yeah, it is a little hard to get those extra bonus points. So Carl O loves Donkey Kong. Gallagher guy loves Donkey Kong. Uh, Stardust likes Donkey Kong. Yeah, yeah. That second board on Donkey Kong, I always try to get to the side before that fire comes out. I like him to come out on the left side. I don't know if it's a mental thing or not, but if he gets out before that, it seems like I have a little harder time uh, running the pattern that I'd like to run. Yes, it's a lot of games that Mad Dad likes it as well. There's a lot of games we love, but we suck at. But the good thing is today we don't have to put quarters in, even though I have two that I have to put quarters in. But I got a stack of quarters on the deck, so it don't matter, right? Uh, so you're about to try Call of the Mountain. I have no idea what these things you're talking about. Okay, so you said the other game was a driving game on PlayStation. Okay, okay, that's what I was thinking was PlayStation VR. My brother has the PlayStation VR. I have the Quest. Um, but the funny thing about the virtual reality headsets, it's so difficult to explain to someone who has never had the headset on their head. You can talk about, oh, this game is cool, but they just won't get it until they put the headset on. Uh, I remember my two brothers. One had the Quest or whatever out before the Quest or Quest One or whatever it was, and my older brother had the PlayStation VR, and they were telling me about, oh man, you can watch movies like you're at the movie theater, and I'm like, okay, I can watch Netflix here. What's the big deal? But they never really said anything, but they provoked my curiosity, and I'm glad I got the VR. It's a pretty cool thing if you have never tried it, um, but it's hard to understand without having tried it on your head and look through the lens. So let me just let this thing play. So Donkey Kong, I can walk up and play this any day. And again, I don't play any of these games for hours and hours and hours. See that first barrel on this emulation, it never lets you get the point. Um, but the Donkey Kong cabinet, I always liked the shape of it. Um, I really paid much attention that the Popeye was the same exact cabinet. Because Popeye used to drive me crazy, man. Popeye was just so hard. Um, yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. I would have to say I lean. I always say Kong collectively because Donkey Kong. I'll switch between all of them except for the third one. I do not like the third one, but I definitely prefer Junior over the regular Donkey Kong. Though I still like to play Donkey Kong. I definitely prefer Miss Pac-Man over regular Pac-Man, and I'm less likely to play regular Pac-Man. Though I do have it on the numbskull, and I'll pick that up sometimes and just a few boards. Again, never trying to go for hours. I just whet my appetite. So this went kind of fast, but let me just go back. The fighter game. So Street Fighter. That's volume. So Street Fighter 2 was the second one. Now Street Fighter 2, I can't remember if I played this at the arcade or I only played it or I played it at the on the console. I cannot remember. Because for me, a lot of times when the game started asking for more quarter, I just didn't play them, or they wanted too many quarters to actually play it. Say like the sports game, like a Blitz, where you had to keep feeding money into it to play each quarter and all that stuff. So certain games, I graded to the ones I can get the maximum play time for my quarter. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I have never heard that, but I have that. I'm assuming I have it on my At Games Legends Ultimate. You know, it's so many games, so many systems today, so many ways to play games. Is I a lot of money. Like I just bought this PlayStation 5 back in November. Finally got it to play God of War. I've played very little. I think I played in November. Then my daughter came home. She took over it, and so I just plugged it back up yesterday, and I played God of War for a minute. But it's like it. I think back to the games. So many games I buy the games and I never finish the games. Lose interest in the game, and that's what I like about the arcade games. It's never they already paid for, right? Or obviously I paid for these cabinets, but I'm not expected to play hours at a time. I can just play for a little bit and then go about my business. Um, but one game I do thinking back on the console, and I think it started on the PC originally. Metal Gear. You guys remember Metal Gear, where the object was not so much, but sometimes you had to sneak past the guards, and that alarm would go off if they saw the movement. And I used to love the game. Then it became Metal Gear Solid, became 3D, and all these different things. And over the years, I've bought the newer ones, but I've never finished those games. Resident Evil, played all of them, never finished any of them. I just like to go in and play. So I'm a fan. One of the few games I've gone all the way through is Watch Dogs. So I have the original one and then 2. And even after I finish those, I don't ever play any of the side missions. Sometimes I just go out there, drive around, and get into some trouble. I don't worry about the missions so much. I just like to go burn off some steam, go do whatever. And so I like the free roaming games a little bit, but then not like Far Cry. Those games where you have to craft stuff. I don't have that. I don't have time for all that. I gotta look for this and look for that and then craft it together. This stuff drives me crazy. So I said all that to say it's very limited games that are going to keep my attention and that I'll come back to. So, but yeah, Crazy Climber, I always enjoyed that. That's a pretty cool game. And I don't know if you guys have played Crazy Climber. It's a dual stick game. Uh, I played tons of that, and I really like that. Though I think I played a lot on consoles, so having to do with the dual stick, that's pretty fun, but it takes some getting used to for sure. So the first time I played Street Fighter, says was at good old Wizards on 8 Mile. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, see, I didn't really play at a whole lot of arcades because around me we had the bowling alley, we had the party stores. They all would have 2 to 3, maybe 4 max. I think the bowling alley had most. So I played the things that were available to me. When I went to an arcade, then you had people that was so good that they never got off of Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2. So that's why I know I've seen that at the arcade. I don't think I played it much because people were just so good that they just hogged those machines. Um, to me, the VR definitely is worth. The only issue, El Capitan, with VR is you have to have space. You have to have space, open space, enough open space for you to play it. And so, like right now, I got this contraption over here in my man cave, which I don't have space to do it. So there's only really two good spaces in the house to play down here in the man cave and upstairs in the family room. But my wife always hogs the family room because she says I have my space down here, so why I need to be up there. But that's where I have the biggest spaces up there in the family room. Um, my daughter's away at college, so her room is wide open because she don't have any stuff on floors or anything. So you just have to have open space to play VR. So sometimes I want to play, but people have stuff all over the place. I have stuff all over the place. It's not. I don't feel like moving all that stuff out the way. So that's the only challenge with VR. But other than that, I love it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So some open games I like what's the thing everybody's been playing for years? Grand Theft Auto. What I don't like about Grand Theft Auto is to do all these side missions to get enough money to actually do things. So, um, and I know there's probably cheats or hacks you can do to get money, unlimited money, but that's why I like Watch Dogs. So Watch Dogs, you can just take people money, and then you have money to do things. Yeah, but and the Far Cry, those missions just stress me out sometimes. So it's like I got to be in the right mood to be able to go into those gunfights and all that stuff. So it gets pretty crazy. But yeah, I just have to be in the mood. I think most games, but the old arcade, I don't have to be in the mood. I can just walk up to any one of these cabinets and play any one of these games and be in perfect bliss. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Now we always compare our spots to other people's spots, and of course, my spot's better than some people's. Some other people's spots better than mine. We're all different. It's all different things. Uh, the only thing I just like is I don't have walls. I can't hang anything up. So, yeah, I can be creative and do some wire strings and things like that. But I wish I had some walls. But don't tell my wife I don't want to finish this basement because she would try to take over it if I finish it. So I can live with it. I'm happy with it. Uh, it's a great space. Hey Google, arcade on. So let's see here. Your mom. Oh yeah, those birds dropping those eggs is a pain. Good lord. I arcade man. Or was that you? What the? I don't know what just happened to Galaga. Huh, something just happened. Hey Google, turn the arcade left on. That's bizarre. iArcade.
Turning on the arcade left.
Huh, something just happened with that. Two cabinets, Star Wars. They're on the same plug. Oh, Star Wars not on. I'm not sure what happened to Galaga. It came on and just crashed. So that's the thing about having an arcade. Sometimes you have to do some repair work and figure out what the heck's happening. So El Capitan says the first time he played Street Fighter was at a laundromat. Then when Hyper Fighting came out, I played Boys and Girls Club. Cool. All right, so let's see. What was the next game? Now, did you guys enjoy the movie? Any of the Street Fighter movies? Now, Chun-Li was one of my favorite characters in Street Fighter. It was the sumo. What's his name? Honda. I can't even think of his name right now. Right. But the sumo wrestler and Chun-Li were my two favorite Street Fighter characters. All right, let me get caught up with some of the chat. So Carl said his ALU feels brand new with some new springs and a speaker upgrade. All right, so Stardust is still talking about his VR. It's definitely cool. Oh, I think we already had that one. In the collection, I don't know. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13. Not counting the countercades. My of modern games, God of War is by far my favorite game. I like God of War, and usually me and my wife have to tag team because there's certain she has that I lack, and I have skills she lacks. We usually have to tag team to get past certain characters. My issue with all these modern games, and it's my issue because they give you the option to change the difficulty level. I always try to go in at the normal, and then that frustrates me. So then I put it down, and I won't play for a while. So I really need to lower the level and get through the game, and then I can poke around, play around with the other stuff. So that's usually my issue, and I recognize that. So I know the solution. I just have to apply it. So top 5. I don't think I have 10 modern games to really go. Now, so one of the modern games I like, I've always been a fan of golf. The Tiger Woods games, the EA Sports is in the game. So golf, the games I played on Switch. That's the 2K PGA Golf. That's definitely one of my favorite modern games. Even though I have Golden Tee back here. That's the older version. I still enjoy that, but definitely the 2K PGA Golf is one of my favorite. God of War, Watch Dogs. I don't know if I guess that's modern compared to the retro. Watch Dogs. I prefer 2 over 1. The driving mechanics on 1 was really. Once I finished 2, I went back and finished 1. So Watchdog definitely makes the top 5. I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel's character or superhero, period. But the games frustrate me because Spider-Man's not like Superman. He's not invincible. But some of the gameplay drives me crazy because it's like regular people. I'm fighting regular people that might have guns, or they might have, armor or something, whatever. But it always seems like it takes they can take 5 or 6 of my punches, which I am strong. And Spider-Man does have strength, right? They can take 5 or 6 of my strength, but they can hit me 2 times and I'm dead. So that's very frustrating. But I would say the Spider-Man is definitely uh, a modern game I like. So that'd be in my top 5. And it's pretty to say. I do like playing Sims sometimes because the whole family likes Sims. So Sims uh, with the modern game that I like to play. Again, I can go in there. I remember years ago I built my big huge mansion. I made my character like Halle Berry. She's one of my favorite actresses for obvious reasons. Uh, so I had the character look just like Halle Berry. Had this huge mansion that I made from scratch, uh, and and you had to swim. You had to swim to get into the house. There was no other way to get into the house unless you swim through this huge pool to get to the house. So I like playing around, being goofy with things like that. So it'd be tough for me to say top 10, but those definitely be my top 5. I appreciate you stopping through. Does I'm not sure what you were saying. Oh no, to the cabinets. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that cabinet. Hey Google, turn the arcade left off.
You got it. Turning off the arcade left.
And it almost looked like a fuse popped on that. Hey Google, turn the arcade left on. So we'll see. Yep, that's definitely a charm of having your own arcade.
Right. Turning the arcade left on.
Oh yeah, E Honda. That's right. E Honda and Chung Li was my favorite Street Fighter 2. Now the movie was cheesy for sure. Let's see here. Chris said he likes the what's going on, Chris? Van Damme was the guy back in the day. Hey, where'd it go? Hey, I can neither confirm nor deny that question should even be addressed. Yeah, I like to get the new version that has Tiger Woods because again, Tiger Woods has always been my favorite golfer. But the prices, man, these prices are just ridiculous. There's a few games that Watch Dogs I bought the collector both, so I have the figurine. Um, but I guess a modern game I would like it. I like Madden, though I hadn't played Madden in a while. But I do prefer I like Madden. Um, I hate paying the full price for these things, and especially since they make everything digital, and they want the same price as they did when it was you had to physically make a disc and make a artwork box and up and ship it to you and all that. That really just irks me that they're charging, if not more, for a digital copy that you don't even have the option to sell. Though I seldom ever sold any my things, I just it's just the principle of it. Okay, Gallagher came back on. Whew. Uh, that would have been terrible. All right. Yeah. I would definitely love to have the modern golden tee in a pedestal form. Those things are just ridiculously priced. Oh my goodness. No way could I justify. No way could I justify um, buying those. Just no way. It just no. I can't do it. Breath of the Wild. That's I played the original Zelda, obviously back in the day. Never was caught up into the fanfare of it. I don't really get. And again, I played the original one, so I don't really know much more of the other ones after that. So I'm sure it is evolved in a much different, better game. But when I hear Zelda, I'm thinking back in the 80s, whenever that early 90s, whenever it first came out. Um, so yeah, I've never played Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that would definitely be sweet. Uh, yeah, that would be nice to have a cab. Yeah, yeah. So obviously, I would want to have a modern version of the game for a Tiger Woods cabinet. That would be sweet. Um, and there's a way you can play your Steam, right? You can do Steam. Can you do Steam? Not Steam, but the Nintendo Switch. I know people have put those in cabinets. That'd be nice to be able to play that in a cabinet with a trackball. That'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely should be cheaper. Oh, we still it takes the same effort to make the games, and we have to. The games are gotten so complex. There's all this money into making it. Blah blah blah. Everybody's got to pay. Yeah. Yeah, but you used to have to make those boxes and make those discs and ship those places. You ain't got to do anything like that. It should be cheaper. No way. Yeah, yeah, for sure. My wife will kill me. Now, I go to a local bar and they have a golden tea on a pedestal. They have a buck hunter, and when I go there with my buddies, we're there for. So every now and then I look up and someone's left some credits in the golden tea, so I go and play. Uh, Aside from that, I never play it unless there's some free quarters. That's just a habit from way back in the day. We check those coin returns for any quarters. Um, and it's just those games where you have to feed in X amount of money for each hole and all that stuff. I think it's just the principle of it. And again, that's all normal today, but back in the day it wasn't. And so those games just irk me that they want to try and get you to keep putting money in to extend your play. Ah, but I played it almost every time I go. Someone leaves a full game. Last time I was like a quarter short of a full game, and I was like, nope, you're not getting my quarter. I'll just play what's here. So I think I played like 16 holes or something like that. Not even worried about $60 or $70 a game after collecting arcades. Um, yeah, yeah. But see, again, my issue with playing 67, and there's more like that, like the Tiger Woods game for the PlayStation, whatever. The collector one's like 100 something, and you got another one's 8, and then the lowest one. Uh, I have to get enough, and I've always been this way. I don't have to have the latest and greatest. Like Madden, I would always be like 3 or 4 Maddens behind because I would wait and then I would go and get Madden from GameStop for $20 or $10 or sometimes $5. Uh, I could wait years as opposed to paying $70 for the new Madden. So that's the way I've always been. The only time I was fine playing the overs. I don't have to have the current roster and all that stuff. Usually something triggered me to want to buy the new one. For example, when the Detroit Lions built their new Ford Field, then I had to finally upgrade to the next one because I wanted the Ford Field. You know what I mean? So things like that. Um, I used to love Chris Spielman when he came from Ohio State. I didn't like him when he was in Ohio State playing for the Buckeyes, but when he came to the Lions, so I wanted to have him uh, in the game, and so I would lose him if I switched to a new one, right? So it had to be something to get me to the next version of the game because I didn't have to have the latest and greatest. What up, Mike? How's it going? We were just talking about the video. I don't know if you had, and we're just chewing the chat. We're just chewing that. Not talking about any in particular. We just use this video as an excuse to get on here and talk with each other. Um, but if you saw the video, we're talking about top 10 cabinets. What's your favorite cabinet if you want to share? Yeah, yeah. Like you said, if you know you're gonna like it, uh, it's worth it, right? Like I said, with Watch Dogs 1 and 2, that's a game I really liked. I'm a techie, so I like that aspect of it, and so I bought the collector's edition, and I don't have any regrets. But games like Madden, which while I enjoy it, I I I don't think I've ever paid the full price for any of the Maddens, and I hadn't had it for years. So at some point in time, I'll have to get it for. I don't know. I don't know if I have it for Xbox. I have the Xbox S series, and I have the PlayStation 5 now. But I need to have a more modern Madden on one of those two platforms. So I have to look in the stores and see who has a deal on it. Um, you're right. We buy what we like. We'll gripe about $6 for a game, and then a new cabinet come out. We'll pay $600 for it. Don't think anything of it. It's all about timing, uh, what the what we're going to enjoy, and we there's no rhyme or reason to it, right? We do some crazy things, and for our hobbies and for our desires. Yeah, and I definitely like that. A lot of these systems allow you to put stuff on your wish list, and they'll let you know when those things go on sale. Um, so yeah, I'd rather wait for it to go down to buy most of these games. Yeah, God of War, like I said, we played on every console, and for some reason my wife hadn't touched it yet, and so I'm waiting for her. And so what I'm gonna have to do is take the PlayStation because my daughter took it upstairs, and I was in the loft. I played it for a minute up there. I'm gonna have to take it down to the family room because that's where my wife spends the most of her time. So I'll have to hook it up there and just sit the controller there, just leave it up and running. So when she goes in the next time, it'll just be there and she can pick up the controller and start playing. That's the way it's gonna happen. Uh, so Mike plays Madden. He's a Madden holic. Plays 5 to 20 games online a week, depending on the work schedule. I always get suckered into buying day one and really enjoy it. Like I said, if you know you're gonna get the use out of it, you know, why not? Now, I think Madden probably was the first game that turned me off from online play because people would unplug their internet and turn off the games. And I know they probably have things in place today to penalize people for that.